Hello everybody, my name is Rachel and I lost 70 pounds on the GLP-1 trizepatide. This is going to be my third episode on the 70-pound fat loss effect. My first one was about how I got from 120 to 186 at my highest weight, and the second one was my experience on Mounjaro and compound trizepatide. And now we're going into a very hard one. I know I see a lot of videos on YouTube showing that people just get off the shot and they're good. But this was more of a mental breakthrough for me because it hit a lot of areas of my life that I always put on the back burner. So that's why I decided I'm not doing this one in the car. This one's a little deep for me, so I wanted to have a clear mind and be able to express myself on this part of my life, which is titrating down, getting off the shot, and learning to feel good in my own body. I did manage to get to 111 pounds by around June, July of 2023. And I didn't get off of the shot completely. Last shot was in July of 2024. So I wanted to explain, first of all, how I titrated down. Now, once I hit the 111 pounds, I kind of just didn't know where to go from there. I was usually trying to be proactive, as I explained, like just starting supplements and figuring out what I needed to do to be proactive. But when it came to titrating down, I didn't really know how to do it. So when we went into August for my refill, I just went to 7.5. And as I said, it was a telehealth company. They really didn't question anything when you told them how you wanted to do things. So they allowed me to get on 7.5. I figured it would be a sweet spot. As I told you, I went up on dosages every 4 weeks and hit the max dosage for Mounjaro trizepatide. So I never really listened to my body and felt that like pause in my weight loss. I just kept going up. So I really didn't listen to how I felt on each dose, like I see a lot of people do now. And now that I think about it, I probably could have gotten off a lot sooner, but I think being on it was that safety net. Like I felt like it was something that I was still doing to hit this goal, even though I had already met the goal. So if I just stopped taking it, then what? Like, what was next? So I went into August and I went ahead and just went on 7.5 and it was fine. I didn't go on to lose. I would stay on the scale. Like I told you, get on it every day. And if it was starting to go down, I would skip 1 week of the dose and then take it the next week. And I wasn't really paying attention to what I was feeling. And it's hard to explain that part of it, but it was more like I was just going through the motions because that was a habit that I was used to doing, taking that shot. So anyway, I did for the first month do it every week, and I really didn't see any decrease on the scale. Once I hit 111, it just stayed like that for a while. It would go up to between 111 and 114, but it never really went lower than that. Now, as far as the way my body was looking, I was feeling good in my body. I didn't feel like any loss of energy or fatigue or anything different from my body. I was actually happy with the scale. But then I started to realize, when I was alone or taking a shower or something, I started to realize like all the loose skin. Like I started to have a reality check of what was really going on. Like when I was losing it, I was just so focused on the scale. I wasn't looking, and of course my hair loss and stuff like that, that was actual visible stuff. But when it came to like looking at my body and how it was changing, I was just happy that my clothes look good. I mean, in the pictures I show you with, you know, when I'm out and about, you can't tell I had all that loose skin. But then I started to realize like, wow, this is a lot. It was a lot of skin, and I will post a picture here. So it kind of made me feel like now I need to change that. And it was always in the back burner, and I was always hearing people say that I looked sick. But in reality, I just kind of felt like, well, you know what? They say that because they're not used to seeing me thin. And I would brush them off because I felt fine. I didn't see any, you know, I felt good, you know, inside. Until one day. Now, about a year before, rewind to about 160 pounds, we renovated our house. And so in doing that, we got a storage pod in our backyard, and we moved a bunch of totes and furniture and stuff in there. It was me, my son, and my husband. And we moved all these things in there. And I was in there helping. Well, we renovated the house. It ended up being complete, and we started to move things back in the house around June, July of 2023, when I was getting off the shot and hitting my ideal weight. And I'm telling you, there were totes that I put in there by myself but could not lift. And then it started to give me this reality check that, okay, it's not only the skin that I'm seeing, and maybe my physical body feels good, you know, I'm waking up with energy and I'm doing all these things, but I started to realize I need to get stronger. Like I've gotten so weak. So that was on a weekend. And then I went to work, and I was telling my coworker. Now, this coworker that I'm always talking about, it's always the same female. When I'm talking about a female coworker, like she has supported me through so much. I just love her to death. And I always say coworker, but that is a friend. She's like the best that you can have as a coworker to spend Monday through Friday with 8 to 10 hours a day. Like she's the girl. So again, as I was saying, like I went in there to talk to her, and I was like, you know what happened this weekend? Like I have lost so much weight that I think I've lost my muscle. Like I couldn't put these totes in here. She had like a couple of trainers in her past, and she sent me the information. She goes, you know, they're really good trainers. Maybe you could start going to lift weights and learn how to lift weights correctly, because as I told you, I was doing sauna and cardio and jogging and running and doing all these things, but dumbbells, you know, I wasn't doing that, and if I was, it wasn't in proper form. And she sends me these numbers, and I look one of them up, and I'm like, wow, this guy is built. And I start looking. She goes, yes, you should see, you know, the girls he coaches. They have really nice bodies. Like he was just doing everything I saw I wanted for my body. And it so happened that she's told me, but he's like an hour away from you. So I still look him up, and I'm like, well, maybe I can figure it out. And anyway, it ended up that he had moved about 6 miles from my house. And I started looking at the cost of this trainer, and I thought, I don't deserve that. I don't deserve to spend that kind of money on myself. And I was not thinking that I was worthy of this training. I was like, it was a lot of money, and I felt like I need a reason to be able to have this trainer. So granted that I told you that the skin was a big issue for me. So I told myself, you know what? I'm going to get a trainer for 6 months. And in that 6 months, I can gain some more strength, get in my proper nutrition, learn what I have to do, absorb everything I can from this person, and then I will deserve my skin to be removed. And I went to my husband, and he was like, well, if you do it on your own time. Uh, I don't care if you do it, but and how are you going to do this? In the evenings, it's, dinner, and how are you going to make time? Don't don't do it on my time. And so there I go, okay, trying to figure it out. And he has a 5 a.m. slot. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing it on anybody's time but my own. It's going to be on my own sleep. So there I go, get the trainer, 5 a.m., and I start to work out. And I think this is what impacted me mentally. I did go to a doctor for my tummy tuck, and I scheduled it for April, which would be 6 months after the shot. After my trainings were over. So come by September, like I said, I was already on 5 milligrams. I have a trainer. I'm focused on getting stronger so that I can have this tummy tuck done for all the skin. And then I feel like I'm good. I stay on 5 milligrams. I'm taking it probably every 2 weeks. By the end of December, by my birthday, I'm taking it every 2 weeks. But still on the 5. And I did still do a lot of jogging. And so this time for my birthday, I couldn't really lose weight, right? There's no weight loss challenge. I was going to hit 50, and I wanted it to be like, I didn't want a big party or anything because I wasn't drinking as much anymore. So I was like, well, what can I do that's still a challenge for me to get to for my birthday? So I came across a 10K Wonder Woman run in Dallas, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask a bunch of friends who wants to join me for this run. We rented an Airbnb, and I started to train for this 10K run. And then by March, I was probably at the 2.5. And I took the 2.5 weekly, even though it wasn't affecting weight. So the titration really did go smoothly going down as far as it affecting my weight. Me with the muscles, dealing with those issues, getting strength, having a reason to get this trainer, and all of that tied into my tummy tuck, it kept my mind off everything else that was going on with my body or how I was feeling about myself. So after that, in April, when it gets to April, I'm really good with the titration. I'm at 2.5 every 2 weeks by April, by the time my tummy tuck comes. And that's why I'm saying I probably could have gotten off that shot earlier, but it was a security to me. Like, it was something to hold on to. After the tummy tuck, I was happy. It felt good to have all the skin removed. It was more than just that. I couldn't understand that I was already at a good weight for my body. I would go shopping, like even online shopping, and still get like the mediums and larges because I couldn't see what was actually in the mirror. I couldn't see what was in the pictures. I could only see that I was going to go back there. It was all the yo-yoing that I had done in the past that made me feel like I'm going to go back. And if I don't keep taking this shot, I'm going to go back. Even though I was doing everything I needed to do, I couldn't understand why my brain could not catch up. I couldn't feel safe that I was doing all the right things. February, March, I was still like hiding myself. I felt like I didn't want to change that about me. I didn't want to change who I was before. I wanted to still be able to be with my friends and not think them like I was so worried about what people were going to think of me. Like, oh, she's going to start dressing different, and oh, now she's too good for us. Like, I was so afraid of losing them, or what they thought of me, and what my husband was thinking. Like, I was on tiptoes all the time. I could not really be proud of what I had actually done. Like, it took so much of my discipline and more than motivation to get through what I had gone through. And now going through this training, waking up at 5, by the time we hit February, I was actually at 3 sessions. Even though at the beginning he said slow, we were going to do it slow, he just saw how motivated I was, how my body was changing. And I really don't believe it was a money thing to him, because every session was money. But it wasn't that. Otherwise, he would have had me at 3 or 4 workouts at the beginning. But when I would go to him, like after a weekend, and I did end up drinking or slipping off the menu, he was like, "You're okay. This is a lifestyle change." I never brought to him the fact that I wanted a body build. I learned that in December, after I was with him for a few months and saw his clients. In my head, that was already the next step. But he didn't know that. I didn't talk about that to anyone. That was just for me in my head. So when I would go to him, he would like try to reassure me that it's okay to be proud of who I was. But I felt like I couldn't. I was afraid of losing everyone, of changing, of just not being who I was when my husband met me, the party girl. I felt like I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know, because I didn't like the same things. I didn't like hanging out and drinking all the time. I kept going out and staying out late. I just kept doing it. And so I think the staying on the shot helped me maintain. And if I got off and still had the lifestyle that I had, I was not going to succeed. I was going to go back. Sorry. There was just so much I had bottled up inside. And when I would go to my coworker or my trainer, I was able to talk about these things because nobody else had this in common with me. I'm talking about feeling alone. I felt alone. If I keep going, I'm going to lose everybody, because nobody cares about what I'm doing. Like, nobody cares. And so it was really hard on me to try to realize what I wanted for myself and what I was doing to myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know if I could be proud of who I was. I didn't know what I liked. I was still trying to please everyone so that I can not have to face that I may lose some people, or that I wanted to keep improving. When I would mention that I was getting the tummy tuck, or I mentioned that I wanted, something different, it's like, you have body dysmorphia, girl. Like, you look good. Yes, I look better than I looked, but I wasn't happy with where I was. And that's okay. It's not body dysmorphia when you just want to keep improving yourself. I was 50 years old and didn't feel like it, and loved it. Loved the way the gym felt. Loved the way I looked in my clothes after my tummy tuck. Loved talking about it. Loved talking about health. And I was on YouTube all the time. That was my only way to get, have that passion, because nobody else wanted to hear about it, in my conversations. Nobody was doing what I was doing. So that scared me. And I still didn't understand, how could I be doing something so good for myself that could influence my children that are overweight? And I'm questioning it for things that really don't matter. Because if people don't want to be around me because I'm healthier, then they never really loved me. And I was like, why is that so hard to trust that I will influence people, like my children, that I'm doing something better for myself to live longer? As far as the shot, I took it, the 2.5 in May, every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then finally June was the last shot I had, and just took it, and I never took it again, which now I'm seeing all the benefits of using microdose, right? But no, I'm not on it, and I haven't been on it since July of 2024. And it was good to start trying to do things on my own. I felt more secure after the last shot, but like I said, it took me even longer to kind of learn who I was and go through my issues with my husband. I was just afraid to even let go of myself. People were telling me, you gotta let that go, that lifestyle, that girl that you were, you're not her anymore. And you know, that really hit home. Like, I still want to be her. I still want to have my same friends, and I love them, and I love everyone, and I don't want to lose anyone. And I was sacrificing myself and my happiness to continue to be that old me. Actually, on my next birthday, I posted something on Facebook, and I want to share it with y'all because it helped me to let go of what I needed to, but not everything. So from June of 2023, when I lost all the weight, up until probably October of 2024, I got off the shot and went through an identity crisis. I didn't know who I was anymore. I got anxiety leaving the shot behind. I was questioning what I wanted in life, what made me happy, what I had to give up. Like, I just went through it. I felt like I did all the way up until about October, when I finally realized I was going to say my goal out loud. I want to get on a bodybuilding stage. So I was 50 years old and said, in 5 years, I'm getting on that stage, because I knew there was a lot more I had to do. And I expressed that to my husband, and it was the first time I said it out loud. And the second person I told it to in October of 2024 was my coworker. And she's the one that always reassures me, and that it's okay to be selfish sometimes. I learned to trust myself, trust my decisions, trust that I didn't need the shot. I learned to believe in me. Hey, it's your editor. I've been editing, of course, and seeing everything that I recorded, and I didn't realize, first of all, that I still had all those feelings in me. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the things that may seem harsh on other people. I just want you to kind of see that this is what was in my head, what I was thinking. It was a me issue. My friends did not think these things. They did not, feel these things away about me. It was just something that I was feeling. It was a me problem. There were occasions, like one time someone came to me after my tummy tuck and said, wow, they did a good job removing fat. And as you see in my video, I got rid of all that before the tummy tuck. But of course, things like that would stay in my head, like that's what people are thinking, that's what my friends are thinking. In reality, it wasn't them, it wasn't my true social circle. So I don't want to come off in my video as if this is what was happening, this is what they were saying or what they were doing. I mean, they went on the run with me at my 50th, and that is huge because that was supporting me. They were there when I would have my drinking festivities for my birthday, and they were there to actually do a run with me. So this was just stuff in my head. It wasn't anything that my friends were showing me or telling me. There was even one person that came to me during my weight loss and was like, yeah, she said you're just doing it the easy way out. Okay, was it your friend that told you that, or was it you thinking that? Like, that was how my head was working. And in one part where I say that the trainer, having a trainer kind of helped me mentally, or it wasn't that, it wasn't because I never had those feelings. The feelings that I were having that I'm portraying in this video are throughout the weight loss. But there were things, like I said, that I always kept inside. I never spoke about them. And when I would face somebody like my trainer or my coworker that actually had, was doing things a different way than I was, and I let these things out to them and spoke about them and like put my thoughts into words, I was able to have some information to me to make me feel more secure of myself, that helped me change things that I was feeling inside. So that's what I meant by my coach being one thing that changed me mentally. It was more like I was able to speak about these things and say them out loud and voice my feelings, and that does wonders when you're able to like let it all out and not just hold it inside, because that's basically what I was doing. So I just wanted to kind of go over those things that I did mention. Oh, one more thing that I do mention is like, I didn't want to do those things when I wanted to go out with friends. It wasn't that I didn't want to hang out with my friends. It was that I knew me. Just like in a previous episode when I was talking about cravings, I knew I could not do it in moderation. So I needed to not do it at all. Like not have one donut, because I didn't know how to have one donut or half a donut. So basically that's how I was feeling about going out. I knew that I couldn't trust myself. It had nothing to do with not liking my friends, not liking the same things, because we still do have things in common. It was a Rachel problem. And as far as me going out with my social circle, I still do it today. I love it, and just drinking is not for me right now. Don't get me wrong, I love to drink. As you can see, as you've heard, it's been in my life since I was a teen, 20 years old. So I just wanted to make it clear that no, it's not that I didn't want to be with my friends. I didn't want to be around it because I wasn't secure enough to be around it just yet. Not as far as I needed it, just I didn't know if I could, hang out and be fun and do all those things. I always say all these things and I need to stop saying that, but, have fun without alcohol, or have one drink and not be 5 drinks. I wasn't there yet at that time. So I just didn't want it to come off as like I didn't want to and somebody was making me. No, I knew that once I had one drink, I was just going to let it go, and then it was going to have an effect on my body for the results that I needed to make in the gym, the results I needed to make in the scale, the results I needed to gain my muscle. So that's where I was in that state. It wasn't that I didn't want to. It was that I didn't like the alcohol because of what it was doing to my body, not because I didn't like it. And I hope that makes things a little clearer. But let me go ahead let me let you get back to the end of the video. Thank you. I'm hoping that from these videos that you are getting to learn like about me, but also about things that can benefit you. For example, in the first video, all the yo-yo dieting, if you're looking at all these fad diets, you know, just stop. And you know, episode 2, trust your body and do things the right way. Prevent this whole 2 year that I'm working on the physical part of my body. Like, just I'm hoping that it can help you to see things that you can do and things that you shouldn't do for yourself, so that things can be a lot smoother for you, and work on your mental issues as well as you're on the shot, so that you're not trying so hard to get off it and not feel safe doing it. Like, it's a safety net. And just stay proactive in deciding what you're going to do for your future. Another thing that I think helped me learn to see what my body actually looked like was taking pictures with the trainer. I had to take pictures every week in a 2-piece, and I think that helped me to see the changes that were happening in my body, to realize, like, this is where I am no longer there. And so that's why I'm telling y'all, take pictures. I know it feels crappy to do it. I know you're not happy with what you look like, but then when you get where you were and you want to be proud of yourself, you're going to be like, I used to be this. So that was a very big help, to let my mind know, like, you are here. Stop. You're here. This is where you are. This is today. So I really do think that part of that with the trainer, not only his talks, but also like taking those pictures and him doing the side-by-sides like once a month, was really showing me that this is who I was, and it felt great. One of the best feelings is seeing those improvements happen. So as far as the Facebook post that I wanted to show you, I will put the picture here, and I want to read that to you. And it says, with glasses, "Happy birthday, beautiful. People keep telling me I must let you go. The version of you that I no longer have anything in common with. I think, how can I let go of the person who sacrificed so much for me to stand here today? I put you through so much because it was what I thought I had to do to receive love and to be accepted. You were the one who sacrificed your sleep, your favorite food and drinks, and sometimes your identity. You were the one that turned motivation into discipline. You were the one that had 70 pounds more on your body, but did not make it a factor and pushed yourself to move your ass at 182 pounds. You trained successfully for a marathon because you said you could at 175 pounds. I understand now what I am letting go of. I am not letting go of your heart, your discipline, your mental strength, but only the part of you that settled for less and gave too much because you thought that's what you needed to do for love. The part of you that was broken. I don't wish I could go back and give you a big hug and feel sorry for you or tell you that it's going to get better. I just want to thank you because of everything you've been through. I can never say I can't do what I set my mind out to do. It feels amazing to welcome in another year with a whole new set of goals. It feels amazing to finally know what it feels like to love myself more than I love him. The sacrifice, the pain, and the mistakes did not define me. They shaped me, and with perfect timing and no regrets. Because what it boils down to is that I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself enough to feel that I deserved to be happy and to do what I wanted to do and figure out what was fun for me. I just wanted to stay quiet. A little hint that I did bring up in this video is that I had to sacrifice sleep to go to the gym because I couldn't take away time from my husband. So that is going to end this video. And in the next video, we are going to talk about a reality check for my marriage. Until I see you next time, thank you for watching.